Imagine waking up to headlines that the USA has launched an invasion of Iran. What could possibly lead to such a drastic decision? In our exploration of this hypothetical scenario, tensions have been escalating over several months. Picture the international stage as a high-stakes chess game where every move is crucial. Iran's advancing nuclear program becomes a focal point of global concern, drawing sharp criticisms and dire warnings from nations worldwide. As diplomatic talks start to crumble, the atmosphere grows increasingly fraught. Representatives from various countries shuttle back and forth, but to no avail. The negotiations hit a dead end, leaving a palpable tension hanging in the air. Then, a controversial incident in the Strait of Hormuz throws a lit match into this volatile mix. A confrontation at sea, perhaps an exchange of fire between Iranian and American naval forces, captures the world's attention and serves as a catalyst for action. With the world on edge, the first boots hit the ground. As American forces begin their advance, the global stage erupts in chaos. The United Nations swiftly convenes an emergency meeting, with representatives from around the world voicing their concerns and debating potential resolutions. The air in the assembly is thick with tension as diplomats urgently call for restraint and dialogue. Meanwhile, Europe responds with a mixture of shock and apprehension. Major European capitals announce a series of sanctions aiming to signal their disapproval and press for a peaceful solution. These economic penalties target key sectors, hoping to sway American decision-makers. In the Middle East, the reaction is sharply divided. Some nations condemn the invasion, citing fears of regional instability and humanitarian crises. Others, perceiving a strategic advantage, either remain silent or voice cautious support, calculating how the shifting sands might benefit their own geopolitical goals. Russia and China, ever watchful on the international stage, seize the moment to assert their influence. They call for multilateral talks, proposing themselves as mediators, while simultaneously strengthening their military and economic ties in the region. Their actions suggest a readiness to reshape power dynamics amid the unfolding crisis. With alliances tested, the geopolitical chessboard sees a tumultuous reshuffle. With a complex terrain and a formidable opponent, how do American military strategists plan to secure victory? In this hypothetical scenario, the U.S. military opens its campaign with a series of coordinated airstrikes. These strikes target critical military installations, communication hubs, and strategic assets within Iran. The primary objective is to cripple Iran's ability to respond effectively, minimizing the risk to American forces as they prepare for more direct engagements. Simultaneously, the realm of cyber warfare becomes a battleground. U.S. cyber units launch sophisticated attacks aimed at disrupting Iran's command and control systems. These cyber operations are designed not only to sow confusion, but also to incapacitate Iran's defensive capabilities, making it difficult for them to coordinate counterstrikes or communicate internally. Special operations play a crucial role in this initial phase. Small, highly trained teams of U.S. Special Forces conduct covert operations on the ground. Their missions range from gathering intelligence to sabotaging key facilities. These operations are high risk, but are essential for gaining tactical advantages and preparing the ground for larger military maneuvers. However, the geography of Iran poses significant challenges. Its mountainous regions and dense urban centers provide natural fortifications for the Iranian forces. These areas complicate the U.S. military's efforts and require adaptations in strategy and tactics. Urban warfare in particular demands a shift towards more precise and cautious engagements to minimize civilian casualties and collateral damage. Coordination with allies in the region is another critical element of this strategy. The U.S. works closely with neighboring countries, securing logistical support and possibly staging grounds. These alliances are vital for a sustained military effort, providing strategic depth and additional resources. As the campaign intensifies, both sides suffer heavy casualties. The initial phase of this hypothetical invasion sets the stage for a prolonged conflict where strategy, resilience, and adaptability will determine the outcome. The complexities involved in such a military engagement underline the immense challenges and high stakes for all involved. Back in the USA, public opinion is divided. As the news of an invasion breaks, streets in major cities fill with demonstrators. Some wave flags, others placards, each group shouting down the other, embodying a nation at a crossroads. The air is thick not just with chants but with the palpable tension of a country wrestling with its conscience. In the hallowed halls of Congress, the debate is equally fiery. lawmakers line up to voice their positions. Some argue fiercely for the necessity of action, citing threats to national security. Others decry the invasion as an overreach, a severe misstep in international relations during a presidential election year. Each speech, each soundbite adds fuel to the already blazing fire of public discourse. Turning to the media, the landscape is a mosaic of contrasting narratives. On one channel, anchors discuss the strategic merits of the invasion, while another broadcasts heart-wrenching interviews with soldiers' families, painting a picture of personal sacrifice. Social media platforms erupt. Hashtags advocating both support and opposition go viral, becoming digital battlegrounds. As families watch the news, the nation grapples with the cost of war. Every conflict has its turning point, and in this war, it comes from an unexpected quarter. In the thick of the invasion, as the US forces appeared to have the upper hand, a sudden and severe technological failure strikes. This isn't just a minor glitch, it's a catastrophic malfunction in the satellite systems that are crucial for navigation and communication. The timing couldn't be worse. With drones going off course and communications breaking down, the US troops find themselves in a precarious position. Meanwhile, seizing this opportunity, Iran launches a counterattack. This isn't a mere skirmish, it's a well-coordinated strike involving both conventional forces and cyber warfare tactics. The Iranians, having anticipated potential vulnerabilities in American technology, exploit this moment of confusion with precision and ferocity. The counterattack pushes the US lines back, causing significant disruption and forcing a retreat in several sectors. The US command, now grappling with this unexpected turn of events, scrambles to regroup. High-level meetings are convened as military strategists work feverishly to devise a new approach. The reliance on technology, once seen as an unassailable advantage, is now under scrutiny. Adaptations are swiftly made. Older, non-digital communication methods are revived, and alternative strategies that do not depend solely on high-tech systems are brought to the forefront. On the Iranian side, morale surges. The successful counterattack serves as a rallying point. It is not just a military victory, but a symbolic one, showing that the might of a technologically superior adversary can be challenged. Iran intensifies its defensive strategies, strengthening key positions and increasing their cyber-defensive and offensive operations. As both nations adjust to this new reality, the global community watches anxiously. The conflict, once thought to be a quick resolution in favor of the US, now hints at a prolonged engagement. Allies and adversaries alike reconsider their positions and strategies, knowing well that the outcomes of this war could reshape geopolitical alliances. With the stakes higher than ever, the endgame approaches. As the dust settles, the world counts the cost of the conflict. In the immediate aftermath of the invasion, the humanitarian toll is stark and distressing. Millions are displaced within and across the borders of Iran, seeking refuge from the relentless skirmishes and airstrikes. Emergency international aid efforts are underway, but the scale of the crisis overwhelms existing resources and infrastructure. Hospitals, once havens of hope, now struggle under the crush of casualties and shortages of medical supplies. Economically, the repercussions ripple across the globe. Oil prices surge as markets react nervously to the instability in one of the world's key oil-producing regions. This spike leads to increased costs for gasoline, affecting industries and consumers alike. Economies, still tender from recent global challenges, are hit hard, with some slipping back into recession. Politically, the landscape has irrevocably changed. Allies and adversaries alike reevaluate their positions and policies. Some nations condemn the invasion, calling for sanctions and diplomatic isolation, while others see an opportunity to expand their influence in the region. The United Nations faces one of its most severe tests, balancing international law with the geopolitical realities of power and influence. In the longer term, the invasion reshapes international relations. The concept of national sovereignty and the norms of international engagement are questioned and critiqued. Countries in the region are particularly affected, as they must navigate a new balance of power and the potential for further conflicts. The global economy, too, faces a period of uncertainty and instability as trade routes and agreements are disrupted. As we look to the future, the impact on regional stability is profound. The power vacuum in parts of Iran invites both extremist groups and regional powers to vie for control, setting the stage for further conflicts. This instability threatens not just the Middle East, but has the potential to draw in larger international forces into a prolonged engagement. The scars of battle may fade, but the memories and consequences will linger for generations. What have we learned from this exploration of a hypothetical invasion of Iran? As we navigated through the initial spark, the global reactions, the unfolding military strategy, the domestic impacts, the turning point, and the aftermath, a complex tapestry of consequences has been woven. This scenario underscored the intricate web of international relations and the ripple effects that a single military action can have across the globe. From economic sanctions to military responses, from the upheaval of local populations to the international diplomatic backlash, the implications stretch far and wide. We've seen how the hypothetical military strategy could potentially unfold with its phases and objectives, and how these moves could affect not just the immediate area of conflict, but also allies, adversaries, and neutrals worldwide. The home front too would feel the reverberations, economically, politically, and socially. This thought experiment serves as a stark reminder of the real-world implications of military interventions. It invites us to reflect on the profound responsibilities of decision-makers who stand at these crossroads of history. Every action on the global stage carries weight. Wise are those who weigh them with care.